Good evening, folks. I'm Vinay Ramakrishna, and today I'm going to introduce myself to you all. Let me split my 29 years into 3 phases. My first phase, I call it bliss, and this phase is from the beginning of my life till the end of my school at the 10th standard. And the reason I call this phase as bliss because I had least responsibilities on my shoulders, and this phase mainly consisted of assignments, exams once a year, and the rest of the time was only fun. So, and if you realize this is the best part of anybody's life, and the irony of life is that it's long gone before you even realize it, and you even enjoy it fully. So if given an opportunity, I do want to go back to that phase of bliss again. That's about my first phase. My second phase of life, I call it confusion. So this is from the beginning of after 10th standard, beginning of PUC. Until 10th standard you have more or less a set syllabus and you don't have many options to pick other than CBSE, ICSE and the state board. But when you come to the PUC, you are loaded with options. So that's where my confusion started. I didn't know what to do. Then somehow I picked a course, picked a stream, and I moved with my PUC. But if you look at it about the options and about the confusion here, you are not allowed to pick a stream, then try it for a few months, and if you don't like it, you can change to some other stream. That way, if you look at it, softwares are much better. They have a trial option. After my PUC, the confusion started to build again, and it was even more serious because there are a lot more options when you come to engineering. So we live in a society where our dad decides what you need to wear, mom decides what you need to eat, and our neighbor decides what you need to do in life. Fortunately, nothing of that sort happened to me. Still, I ended up in CS, computer science, and I joined BMS, even though I was totally confused what to do in life. So how did I resolve this confusion? What did I do? So I had this thought in mind from the beginning. If I was in confusion, if I had some confusion about it, I'd just follow my friends. I did the same, and everyone started saying engineering and computer science or electronics. So eventually I ended up in computer science. So 4 years at BMS, it was bliss. It was again the first phase of my life. It was really good. And finally, in the final year, again the confusion started to creep in. So it was about what to do next in my life. That was the biggest question. So I again followed my friends. They joined, some of them decided to write CAD. They then joined CAD courses. I followed. I joined the CAD course. I lost interest in the first month itself, and eventually I didn't even write CAD exam. Then what next? So the next thing I did was some of my friends told that they were looking for GRE, and they gave GRE exam. I was like, why not? Let me give GRE and go for higher studies. I followed them. I wrote the GRE exam. I got admits from few universities. I was not ready to go that time. So I worked for 1 year at EPM Systems. Then I got an admit from CMU and I went there. So this was my second phase, which was all about confusion and following my friends to wherever they went. So the third phase of my life, I call it reality. And there is a saying where reality hits you, it hits you real bad. And sometimes it hits you multiple times. So I was at CMU and I started wondering what I was doing there. I had paid a huge amount as tuition fees, and I started wondering, as this is not the dish which I ordered for. I had a lot of confusion in my mind at that time. I had a lot of questions, unanswered questions. That what I was doing here, what I wanted to do in my life, what I should pursue ahead. So it had become similar to the Jackie Chan movie Who Am I, where he was 24 years old and I didn't know who I really was. That was a terrible state actually. And I thought, let me address some of my questions. So how did I address these questions? I did two things. One, I stopped following my friends. The other thing I did was I didn't pick anything which didn't interest me. That included even my courses. Coming back to the thing which I was doing before, which was following my friends, can I blame them because of them I landed in different places which I thought I shouldn't be? Because if given an opportunity again, I would have taken architecture as my specialization during my engineering days. And when I was 18 years old, I didn't even give my architecture exam. I thought it was. I still feel 18 years is too early for someone to decide his or her career. I can't blame my friends because they knew their goals, they followed their dreams, and they are where they are. Whereas in my case, I didn't know what to do. I just followed my friends, and I was in the wrong location every time because of my whatever I selected. Right? I finished my CMU with customized courses. Whatever I had learned that I should take courses which only interest me. So I did the same throughout my masters. Eventually, I got into 3 companies. 2 of them didn't offer visas, working visa. Only one was left, so I joined that company. I worked for a couple of months. I didn't like the work which I was doing there because it was more or less similar to what I was doing before I went for my masters. I didn't really see the reason continuing there. I could have easily changed to a different company, gone to a different location in US, but I had slowly learned that I shouldn't be doing something which didn't interest me. So I left the country. I came back to Bangalore. I joined Juniper Networks, worked there for 1 year. And I realized working in a bigger company, you won't get that exposure and you won't have a lot of responsibilities. That is when Agility folks are looking for people here in Bangalore and in the company. Coming to the end of the speech, so how different am I compared to what I was when I was 25 years old? So one thing I have learned is I'm not following anyone. And the other thing which I have learned is I will only pick something which I'm really interested in. Do I know my destination, where I'm going and all that? I don't know where my destination is. One of my friends told me that if you know your destination beforehand, then you will run towards that destination. And after that, what will you do? So it's mainly about the journey and not worry about the destination. So from that day, I've started to enjoy enjoy my journey of life, and hopefully I'll reach my destination someday. Moral of my story: don't follow others, be yourself, and follow your dreams.